So I looked at Vanderpump Rules' Shayne Davis's Hinge profile and I saw things. So
Yeah.
I wanted to know if I could see your
Yeah.
Hinge to see if you look like a douchebag. Now, if you're an avid Vanderpump Rules viewer, you know that this season it is an entirely new cast and the internet cannot stop talking about these kids. I say kids even though because they are kind of around my age. They're still kind of kids. And one of the breakout stars from this season is Shayne Davis. Now, on the show, he's kind of considered a bit of a player. In our chat today, he talks about seeking out baddies, which it wasn't a new word for me, but it kind of is. And he talked about sort of navigating fame and the show and dating and what joining a reality show like Vanderpump Rules on a station like Bravo, which is like a massive network. So everyone's going to be watching what that does for someone like him who is an actor and he has his own thing going on. And so it must have been a decision to join a show like Vanderpump Rules, but particularly at this point in Shane's life when he is very focused on not necessarily falling in love, but falling in like a lot. I mean, he falls in like a lot. And we talked a little bit about what that experience is like on the show. We also talked about his sobriety journey and how, he made some decisions back in the day that complicated things for him. And he's worked really hard to become sober. And we talked about what that's like, especially on a reality show where it can be sometimes pretty difficult to stay sober. So talked about that. We also talked about how he was shot multiple times by a friend, which was all a part of his past that sometimes was complicated. I mean, this conversation went in every single direction, all the way to ending with pictures of butts in DMs. I mean, this is this is quite a conversation that I really think if you're a fan of Vanderpump Rules, especially this new cast of Vanderpump Rules, you're going to enjoy this conversation I had today with Shayne Davis. So sit back and grab a snack because I will be right back with Shayne Davis. So, first off, being on the new iteration of Vanderpump Rules must be exciting for you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is it?
Yeah.
How did it all come about?
Well, see, you guys have been working there. It's like one of my really close friends had been working there for years. I don't know, 3.5 or something. And he used to live with me.
Mhm.
And then I would go to recovery meetings in that area. There's a bunch of recovery rooms in that area. So I would pop in all the time. And they're like, hey, do you want to be a part of the filming process? And I was like, I don't know about all that. But Marcus really wanted it. I was like, all right, if I do
so did Lisa, right? Lisa saw
wanted
you.
it too,
And
yeah. Lisa was like, he'd be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm pretty open about who I am to Lisa, to everybody.
I mean, based on what I've seen on the show, you're open about a lot of things. You put it out there.
I'm an overshare.
Yeah.
I'm an overshare.
I mean, I'm into it. So am I. Trust me. That's why I do what I do for a living.
Stand up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm just like, please know me. Please pay attention to me.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, so I at first I still wasn't going to do it. And then to be honest, like I was actually filming a movie in New York City and I kind of started battling with one of my co-stars.
Okay.
And then the call came and said, we would like to extend the contract to you. And I was like, could I do this? I was like, you know what? I'm already battling in this world.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm not getting paid additional money for the battle over here, though. I know if I get into a battle here, I'll get paid.
And if you have big enough battles, you can get even more money.
Yeah, but I'll be real with you. I am so like keep the peace amongst everybody.
Yeah.
Well, that's not entirely true. I do stir the pot, but
yeah.
I do. I stir the pot, and then I'm like, "Dang, I just did that." And then I try to pull back.
Yeah.
You know,
you have like guilt by association of like, oh, I did a little bit too much. You went a little too far in stirring the pot.
Well, you know what it is. I have a fragile ego, and I also have a lust for women's attention. So
okay, yeah,
the two of those things combined create problems usually.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, the fragile ego part is going to be hard for in reality television, I would imagine, for you. Because, like, people say things when you're in reality television. So you really got to get a thick skin.
I mean, people who are working at SUR say things. People who don't know me say things. But I actually think that there is something almost therapeutic about that because you realize, like, at the end of the day, like, I think there's, at least for me at first, there's a moment of going crazy where it's like, how do I make everybody like me? And then actually you go so crazy that you start to hone in, wait, how do I like me? How do I like me?
Yeah.
And I think that's more the tip I'm on, or that's the journey I'm attempting to stay on and go on.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have an interesting position on the show in that you're not working in the bar restaurant. You're not working in the space. You're effectively a friend of, but you're not. You're also full time. I mean, so there is this sort of dance that you have to do with being relevant in the mix while at the same time not being necessarily in the mix. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, the thing about the show, and a lot of people don't think it's authentic. It actually is authentic. Like, everybody really works there.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of a hub because people want to work there because they're going to meet casting people. People want to work there because they're going to meet hot dudes or hot chicks or whatever.
Yeah.
But for me, we all understood it wouldn't be authentic if I worked there.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
Yeah.
Because one, I don't, and I'm a full-time working actor.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was also working in drug rehab. So my plate was so beyond full.
Yeah.
That I was like, I can't even fit a shift in. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were like, yeah, we're not. So nobody wanted to. Nobody's trying to make an inauthentic story.
Yeah.
They're just showing. And by the way, it's like the people too that, like, I've had people be like, do they really argue like that? I'm like, no, they were arguing like that before the cameras ever showed up.
Yeah.
That's just how it is there.
That's something that I've noticed. I mean, I'm friends with people in reality television. I've covered reality television. I talk with people in reality television, and it really isn't, particularly with the Bravo celebrities, if you will. It's pretty authentic in terms of, well, pardon my French, but how fucked up things can get. Like, it is very real how crazy some things can get with you all, which is, I mean, for you coming in the position that you're coming in as, you have your own thing going on the side with acting and modeling and drug rehabilitation work and the things that you do on the side, like, that must be interesting to see these people who quite literally are like in the mix of filming this reality television show, and that is sort of their thing. You know what I mean?
It's funny. It's just like, so working in those three fields, right? Being an actor, what I can tell you is, actors, most of them are total jesters, right? Like, they're not authentic, but they have just as much chaos and drama going in their lives as reality people. And then working in drug rehab, I can assure you the drug addicts have as much, if not twice as much drama going on. Well, we're talking about fighting to get their kids back in and out of jail. Like, their drama is on a whole other level.
Yeah, very real.
Very, very, the stakes are very high. So entering the reality TV space, it's just, are you comfortable enough in your own skin for your shit to be out there? Sorry, your stuff to be out there.
You can say shit. You're good.
I never know. We've gotten in trouble for cursing in this.
We can bleep anytime we need. Don't worry. You're good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, so, like, I want to talk a little bit about your sobriety and the way you talk about it on the show, but also just in general on social media and your life. Like, what is the reality television? Drinking is a staple of reality television. Alcohol consumption is a staple of reality television in lots of different ways. And oftentimes, alcohol is used as a means to, I wouldn't say used, but it is often a catalyst for someone being over the top and dramatic. You don't have access to that in your work and in what you do in reality television. So were you ever worried that if no one else is sober around you, that's going to make you somehow not stand out on the show in some way?
I think sometimes when you don't understand the space, like I didn't originally, you think if you don't purposefully act your worst behavior, that no one will care.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's true. And I actually think that when you go the route of being on your worst behavior, one of two things happens. Either sometimes people don't buy it. Sometimes people love it. And then you actually become a bad person.
In what way?
I think you just keep doing bad things in order, because it's that class clown syndrome, right? It's like when you're, as a kid, I was a class clown. It got me a lot of attention. And then I actually got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And then I actually at one point became a really bad kid. I have no interest in behaving that way. I am a mess. I'm okay with that, but I try to be the most honest mess that I can be. Like,
how are you a mess? What do you mean by that?
I'm messy with women.
Oh,
I get entangled and then I pull away. It's funny. It's like, that's the kind of mess though that just makes you hotter.
You know what I mean? Like when you're that, I mean, for at least in
Yeah.
television purposes, like if you're messy in that way, you're gonna get a fan base forever. You know?
I mean, I hope so. As of right now, I think people, they're starting to see that I do have good intentions,
Yeah.
because I think at first people might think that I just fully objectify women, which is I don't find to be true at all. But as far as being concerned about being the only sober person there, not really, because everybody has my back. Lisa has my back. Actually, Bravo has my back. I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this, but Bravo went ahead and like got me additional therapy.
Yeah, no.
Um,
Bravo's been great in the
Yeah.
recent years, just in that conversation in general, being more aware of alcohol consumption and the reputation that it does have in reality television. And which is why I think someone like you on a show like this, coming from a male perspective, which I think is really interesting, because oftentimes, in reality television, the conversation around sobriety or addiction involves women, which I think is valid because that's a lot of reality television. But we don't see a lot of people like you who are as young as you are, who look like you, who act like you, talking about sobriety in the way that you are talking about sobriety. And I think it is something that's needed. So it's great that Bravo has your back in that.
Yeah, Bravo. Yeah, it really is. And I would not have went at the end of the day, like, sobriety has to come first.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult in showbiz. But it for me, I'll lose everything.
Yeah.
If I don't stay sober. Like,
how do you stay sober in a field? Well, I mean, not just in reality television, but amongst your castmates, and you are around alcohol. So, like, what is it for you that allows you to, well, alcohol and drugs and other things? But like, what is it about? How do you stay sober in the midst of what sometimes you're presented with?
my castmates have my back.
Yeah.
So like when there's rounds of drinks going, my friend group, right? They make sure I have my favorite drink, which is sparkling water.
Oh, just sparkling, not even like a little juice in it or something.
If we're getting,
frisky.
If we're getting frisky,
Yeah.
I'll throw a little lime in there. But
a little lime. That's
Yeah,
it. You're
yeah.
too skinny.
Yeah. Well, it's if I'm getting real frisky,
Yeah.
really frisky, we'll have a Red Bull.
Oh,
But
wow. Go wild.
I know I'm going to get in trouble
Oh.
if I have that much caffeine.
Oh, yeah. You seem like the type that would actually be a little too crazy on caffeine.
Dude, you can't get me on even the softest drugs, dude.
Really?
You get me on a little nicotine, little caffeine, brother. It's bad, dude.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want you to put a little orange juice in the seltzer or something, make it a nice orangina.
I think some of my friends too, like when they're behind the bar, they'll without asking, they'll go ahead and make me a little mocktail.
Oh, yeah. Love a mocktail.
And so those are usually delicious. But when we're out and about bar hopping or anything, they don't have that access, and nor do they want to spend $15 on a fake drink.
Yeah.
On a fake drink, on a non-alcoholic beverage. You know what I'm saying? So they typically get me what what I like. And then usually there's a few of my friends who, at least when I'm there, they, cap it around a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
Make sure that I am not alone. Not because, and I don't feel like a burden, by the way. I don't feel like anybody's babysitting me. And by the way, I don't feel like I'm babysitting anybody.
Yeah. And what kind of response have you heard? I mean, because it's been on for a little bit where, when this comes out, it'll be towards the end of the season. And like, what kind of response have you heard from people watching and listening to sort of, especially you talk about sobriety?
It's interesting how I've started to see some of the tides turn, because when people originally started getting to know me, it was more brutal. It was more like, oh, this guy is just an F-boy. He's just, he's a, what a terrible guy, and then it's like,
F-boy is for fuck boy.
Yeah.
Just so people know.
Sorry, I've been so
like I'll be your translator. Don't worry.
Yeah,
we're good.
Just some people have gotten in trouble from the cursing, but yeah, so now I'm starting to see more people get inspired by it, and so I think for me that's what's important about when I was paralyzed and I overcame that. I knew I had to tell a story.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends didn't make it either. Like a lot of my friends from back in that era did not literally even survive, or some of them broke their brain on drugs or went to prison. Yeah. And so when I came out and had my health, and had an expunged criminal record. So my record was completely wiped because I had enough years of good quality being a civilian and a citizen.
Yeah.
I knew I had to tell my story. I just didn't know how or where that would come about. And
Yeah. I mean, I want to talk a little bit more about that in just a little bit. But before I get to that, one of the things that I do find interesting about you on the show is that you talk about how the perception of you is, like you were saying, being a womanizer or like whatever it might be. And I actually think the juxtaposition between you talking and living in a sober life and living soberly, while at the same time, pardon my French, but you're young and you're single, correct? Or no?
Oh yeah.
So you're young, you're single, you're hot, you're in LA. You're gonna fuck up. Like you're gonna fuck up, and you're gonna be a bit of a fuck up because and that's also what is a great recipe for reality television. But to have that juxtaposition between being a young fuck up, pardon my French, and yet also being a responsible, sober person and doing something that's better for you in your life. I think a lot of people want to see that because we don't want to see someone out there who's just Gandhi being sober all the time. You know what I mean?
Right. Which, by the way, being in the sober community, I can assure you,
ain't not a lot of Gandhis.
It's very few. Like maybe when they get like 20 years, but most of us, when we're a few years into our recovery, are actually equally as insane as the people.
Yeah.
Like, because like we're like most of us also are growing up.
Yeah.
Like we're like, dude,
you're figuring shit out.
Dude, I got stuck at like 18 years old.
Yeah.
But I was stuck at 18 for like 10 years.
Wow.
And then I came out and I was like, oh, I have to grow up.
Yeah.
So like now I'm like 21 mentally.
How old are you now, actually?
I'm 32.
Okay, wow, yeah. So yeah, you got some growing up to do.
I got a lot of growing up to do, but it's great because in the city of LA, you can kind of be a Peter Pan for a while.
There is that arrested development that happens in Los Angeles. As someone who lives there as well, you do get into that sense of 401ks aren't going to happen, so let's just have some fun.
100%.
You know? Yeah, exactly.
Like you're waiting for the big shot, and when the big shot comes,
yeah, you lean into it.
Yeah.
Because
if you stay in Peter Pan when the big shot comes, I don't know anything. I actually don't. I could sit here and start acting like I know something, but I actually don't. Like you might want to play Peter Pan for 10 more years after that.
And you could. I mean, if you watch how much bread you eat, you probably could.
Yeah, you gotta watch. Yeah, the bread consumption.
Yeah.
That's how we call that Chad maxing.
Oh, what does that mean?
Maximize your Chad status.
What's a Chad?
A Chad is an alpha male.
Okay, yeah, these are straight people things. I think this is a straight male conversation that maybe I'm not privy to. One part of straight male conversations that I am privy to that I find really fun is on the show. There was a moment, I forget what episode recently, where someone matched with you or saw you on Hinge or something. Explain that situation real quick. Like someone found you on Hinge, right?
Oh, Angelica found me on Hinge, but she found me at an incorrect time on Hinge because I hadn't updated my profile. And at that time it said I was looking for a commitment.
Okay.
Because you know how it is. Sometimes you get in your feels and you're just like, man, and you get all alone in bed.
It's 2 a.m. You've just watched an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah. And then you like reach for your phone and you update your Hinge profile and you're like, you know what? I'm looking for marriage.
That's the emo update.
That's the email. Yeah. By the way, check in on your friends if they do that. Their mental health is going down.
Yes.
Which was me.
Yeah.
And then I forgot to update it like, I don't know, 2 months later.
Well, I'm glad you say this because I, amongst my straight male friends, am the Hinge whisperer in that I review their Hinge profiles and tell them exactly. They think, I find straight men think that this is what women want to see.
Okay.
But then when you put it on the Hinge, you realize you kind of look like a douchebag.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know if I could see your Hinge to see if you look like a douchebag. I don't think you do if you've updated it since Angelica saw your Hinge, but I feel maybe you might have a perception of yourself that maybe women might not want to necessarily see, and they want to see a softer side of Sears, if you will.
Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Profile. How do I get my?
I don't even know how when did you recently update Hinge?
View. Okay. Now, I haven't updated it in a little minute. So let's see what we think here.
Now, I won't be showing anything. I'll just be saying what I see.
Okay.
So you have the intro photo is definitely biceps first.
Sure.
But it also kind of reads, hey, I saw Abercrombie and Fitch in the 90s. so I know a thing or two. And then work and travel. Okay. The second picture you lead with is very thirsty. It is very sex forward, if you will.
Oh yeah.
Which, I mean, is that your intended goal? Is sex forward?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the picture is just you very wet and shirtless.
The goal is actually, and this might be somewhat toxic, the goal is to almost push you away.
Oh, in what way? Explain that.
I think for me, part of my oversharing is actually like trying to push women away from taking me seriously.
Well, it's working for you in that. Well, no, this says green flags I look for people that like gym and horror movies. So you don't want people who like gyms and horror movies, right?
Just the green flag. No,
oh, that's a good thing. Oh, that's a good thing.
Gym,
Excuse me.
Okay,
you might want to change that for women. I'm just going to say that now.
Okay.
The bow one looks like you have more money than you do, and I think that's good. I think that's a good thing. Convey like you have more than you do, and the rest.
That's called status maxing.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's chat maxing, status maxing, looks maxing.
And well, then at the end of the profile, again, I'm not showing, but you look for them on Hinge. You have the model photo, which I think is perfect, like the regular headshot photo that I think is great. And then you have the beach photo that also has some VPL. So I think you're working out in a way that is at least conveying
the truth.
I will say it's going to attract a very particular type of woman, and maybe that's the woman you want.
Yeah. It usually attracts hot ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that what you're going for right now? You just want hot.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I mean, it works for you. It works. I mean, and is it working out for you? Is that is those the people who are swiping on you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There has been primarily baddies that have been.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have they been baddies that, do you think, because now that you're on a reality television show and someone sees that profile on Hinge, and it's an impressive profile, but they're going to also then be like, oh, I know this guy from Vanderpump Rules. Has that been happening to you?
No, because I feel like you find out a little later, like nobody says it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you kind of find out like, is this person, like, at least there's a few right now who like randomly started blowing my phone up more.
Oh, like girls that you've messaged with previously that then
who like it got cold and then whatever, and I expected to never hear back from them again, and then the show
they
drops,
see you,
and then all of a sudden like, hey, what are you up to? Hey, what are you up to? Hey, what are you like?
Yeah.
And so there is a lot more. So it is funny.
How do you respond to that? Like, because if you are looking, like you said, for baddies, I feel like I'm speaking a foreign language because in my world it would be twinks or something. I don't know. But if you're looking for baddies, then I mean that's kind of awesome then, right? If they're wanting to hit you back up because now you're famous.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. But like also if at a certain point, if you start looking for love, then I do think it actually limits your dating pool.
Yeah.
But if you're looking more for, in my case, not even necessarily one night stands, but just baddies to be in your presence, because they release lots of dopamine and oxytocin. I actually try not to just hook up just because it creates it creates usually more issues than it actually helps anything. Then in that case,
that's a different type of addiction then in a way, kind of, if you think
absolutely,
about it. Yeah,
absolutely. It can be. Validation addiction is for sure my main drug of choice. But I try not to do the like hook up with a bunch of girls because that one, I've already done it, and two, it just creates more issues. But yeah, in my case, it's pretty nice.
I mean, I have a feeling, as someone who's just a couple years older than you, that I'm going to be your gay friend in LA that is going to tell you to not do certain things.
That's fair.
Because sometimes I think the profile will inspire a certain thing, which I think is exactly what you need. But then when you're looking for love, you might want to adjust it.
Switch up, show more pictures of the dog.
The dog would be a great addition to the profile.
More subtle with the muscles.
I think the muscles are good, but then again, I'm a homosexual. So like,
True.
and that's also a demographic that maybe on television, at least, if you get the gays, you're famous forever.
Right.
So keep appealing to them.
So far they've seem to
Yeah.
there seem to be riding the Shayne train right now.
I did a story on the Instagram, and there's a Shayne train happening, if you will. So I got the responses that I needed
Nice.
from that, and
Nice.
everyone's pretty much in agreement. I'll bring it up at the next meeting though
Okay.
to
Yeah,
really
yeah.
get an
At
assessment.
the gay embassy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You should come, a special
Okay.
guest.
I'll come. Let
You'll
me
be
know.
very popular. So I do want to talk a little, because you mentioned this before, about the issue you had with when you were paralyzed for a brief period and you had to rehabilitate after the shooting. And I don't want you to go into, you can go into as much detail as you want, but that must have been very traumatic, particularly because it was around the time, correct me if I'm wrong, that you were also pivoting towards more modeling. And for someone like yourself, who, a lot of your business is aesthetics,
Sure.
is how you look,
Sure.
to then have 3 gunshots and then have to rehabilitate, you're not going to be able to work out. You're not going to be able to whatever. What was that like for you as a young person, mentally handling that?
So one thing I have to clear up, I actually got shot twice.
Twice.
I thought it was 3 times.
Okay.
Because I have 3 holes in my back, but then one of the holes is actually a surgical scar.
Oh, okay.
So
after 2 shots, it's kind of like,
well, it's also because one went in and exploded, so it hit multiple things.
wow. Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, it's one of those things where it's like really having to get comfortable with the body, because obviously like a piece of my pec got ripped off in the surgery to save my life, because my lung got ripped apart by a .38 revolver round.
Yeah.
And so, but at first the trauma is survival, right? So that's the first trauma. Then the second trauma, way before I'm even thinking about modeling, the second trauma is, am I going to get my legs back?
Yeah.
And then being stuck in the wheelchair prison that I was stuck in. But I also got to meet a lot of really brave people.
How old were you?
19.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got to meet a lot of really brave people who had a brave face at that hospital, who were paralyzed for life.
Yeah.
And that really showed me that people can make it through anything.
And the shooting took place because of a friend had asked you to confront. There was a fight, right? It was like, but it was a part of what you were saying before about some sort of having a troubled friend group and doing some certain things that you had done.
Yeah, which is, right, it's like me and my friend group all had really, really troubled family lives, and we all found drugs as an escape, and then we realized there was a lot of power in drug dealing.
Yeah.
And
money, probably.
Money and violence. And so that was the lifestyle as a teenager. It was like in and out of juvie. And Rob, whatever it was, we were in a lot of legal trouble consistently. And then it kind of all came to a head with a stabbing and a shootout, and that was also not the first time. Like there was a couple other times I almost got shot. And then I just happened in this time to catch the bullets.
Yeah.
So it was a ginormous wake up call in my life. That's like, dude, is this the lifestyle you want? Do you want to go down the same path as some of your family members? And, like possibly die. But if you don't, do you want to live the in and out of prison life?
Yeah.
And I'm too pretty. So no.
Yeah, you wouldn't fare well in prison.
No.
You also would be popular though.
Look, if I'm gonna be somebody's girlfriend, I'm going straight for the Mafia Don, dude. Like you're not. Yeah, it's gonna be the baddest dude in there.
I have a feeling we're gonna get along real well. So with that experience and having to rehabilitate yourself and getting to a point where you could walk again within the span of a year, and then going on and having a successful modeling career and then getting into acting and stuff, like, did it make the success that you've had over the years, or that you're going to continue to have, because it really is just starting out for you, do you think it makes the success sweeter in some way?
What I've been through?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. You know how it is. Like, it's very hard to please humans, I feel like. And so like sometimes I find myself in this position of like, I wanted this or I wanted that. And it's like, sometimes you just got to sit back like, dude, hold up. Where did you come from?
Yeah.
You didn't see this 5 years ago, let alone when you were a kid growing up in the world I grew up in. Like, I never in my wildest dreams could have imagined. I mean, it feels, even just talking about it right now, it just kind of feels surreal. Just this whole day has been press. I'm on a billboard. I'm in magazines. I'm getting tons of girls full butt cheeks in my DMs right now. Like, it's
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah. You're probably getting more than just girls' butt cheeks in your DMs. And
You never know, just a
I
butt.
know that for a fact. You are getting lots of other stuff in your
Sure.
DMs.
You
Yeah.
know? It's
But it's working out for you.
It's things are going very well.
Yeah.
And so I'm very
Nice.
grateful, man.
Well, my last question then is like going forward, I mean, what are you wanting to do? Because reality television does have a way of defining you in a very specific
Sure.
way. And, you, of course, want a varied career with lots of different things. And I'm sure you want a lot more. So, like, what do you hope going forward to be doing more of?
Well, I spent most of 2025 on acting sets.
Yeah.
So I want to continue that train. But I'm a screenwriter and I love telling really dark tales. I have one it's like about true stories in drug rehab. I have my life story. I want to be able to bring. The thing is, like, I'm in a position as a survivor,
Mhm.
and not a lot of people in my position get to tell the story.
Yeah.
So what you have is a lot of inauthentic storytellers sometimes that want to tell these stories, but they can't because they didn't live it.
Mm.
And so that's my main mission, is to be able to tell these stories and not to be all like holier than thou, because it's not it at all. But like, I know that there's kids out there who they might even be locked up, and then they'll see Shayne and they're like, dang, like, man, he was locked up when he was a kid. Like, he was in and out. Like, maybe I could do something with my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah. Or at least get the butt cheeks in their DMs.
And look, man, like, if you're successful, if you Chad Max, brother, like, but you got to be sober, man. You got to get off the meds.
Yeah.
You'll never get butt cheeks in your DM if you're, or they're just gonna be really bad butt cheeks, dude. Like,
It's true. It's true. It's true. Shayne, thanks so much for doing this.
absolutely, man.
Yeah, this is fun. Yeah. The Hinge profile, I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It just, I saw things. I saw things. I saw things. So yeah, Shayne Davis, the man you are. And the man you are. Thanks so much for checking out today's episode. I really do appreciate it. You can follow me at H. Allen Scott on everything. You can, of course, leave a little rating and review or comment and like and subscribe and all the things the internet wants you to do. And in the meantime, watch something fun today. Maybe look for Shayne on Hinge if you're a Hinge user, because you'll see things too. And have a good one.